Hi everybody. Today we'll be discussing about middle cerebral artery Doppler. Coming to the fetus, the cerebral circulation is a high impedance circulation. Resistance between the cerebral circulation will be very more. So there will be continuous forward flow throughout the cardiac cycle and diastolic flow will be little less due to high resistance. What happens in fetal hypoxemia? Due to fetal hypoxemia, the cerebral arteries tend to become dilated. Due to this, resistance decreases and there will be arterial redistribution, and this is called brain sparing effect. What happens in fetal hypoxemia? The body starts redirecting or redistributing the blood flow to the organs which require most, that is the brain, adrenals and heart. This is called, and for the brain it's called brain sparing effect. And coming to the technique, how will you do? We take a transverse section at the level of thalami and sphenoid bone wings. Once you put on the Doppler, MCA will be overlying the anterior wing of the sphenoid. So where will you take the sample? Once it arises from the inguinal carotid artery, MCA, the proximal position, sample is taken and angle and insulation should be near to the zero. It should not be more than 15 degree. And importance of this is you should not take it away from the in distal part of the MCA. If you take in distal part of the MCA from the origin, the peak systolic velocity will be less when you take here. So the sample size should be taken in the proximal position. That's the most important. And coming to parameters, what we use are this is a normal waveform. In normal waveform, it's a continuous forward flow with the more peak systolic velocity will be more and the diastole will be less due to high resistance. The parameters we use are PI and RI, peak systolic velocity, S/D ratio, and one of the important is the cerebroplacental ratio, where we see the MCA PI by umbilical artery PI. This should be more than 1. If it is less than 1, and it is abnormal. Coming to brain sparing effect, what happens in fetal hypoxemia? The vessels, the MCA gets dilated and the resistance decreases and a diastole will increase. Compared to here the diastole is more. Coming to parameters, Doppler indices middle cerebral artery. Mainly we use it for fetal cardiovascular distress, fetal anemia, hypoxemia, for the workup of IUGR, twin transfusion syndrome, twin anemia, polycythemia sequence. First, coming to PI, what is pulsatility index? Is peak systolic velocity minus end diastolic velocity by mean velocity. Normally it's an high resistance, so the PI will be more. So where you get low PI? Low PI is it tells about the brain sparing effect, and resistance will be less, and due to it reflects the redistribution of cardiac output to the brain. The mean value, that is a normal range, that is increased PA mean reference range, slowly decreases throughout the gestation from around 28 weeks onwards. Normally this PA in MCA at around 39 to 40 weeks of gestation, the 50th percentile will be 1.3. So it should not be less than 1. And around 30 to 32 weeks will be 1.3, 50th percentile. One thing we have to remember is it slowly decreases with gestation, the mean value, from around 28 weeks onwards. So it should not be less than 1, around 38 or 40 weeks. Coming to fetal middle cerebral artery peak systolic velocity, this is the most important measurement which you have to take mainly for patients with fetal anemia. What happens in fetal anemia? Hemoglobin decreases, blood viscosity decreases, cardiac output. As there is more cardiac output, more blood flow to the brain, peak systolic velocity increases. So what happens in anemia also? Peak systolic velocity increases. In normal people also peak systolic velocity increases with gestational age. So it will here in people with fetal anemia, it will be above the normal range. For example, if you take values, if you take a median at 40 weeks, the peak systolic velocity will be something around 64. So in patients with anemia, it will be more than 64 peak systolic velocity. It will be more than the normal range. At 30 weeks gestation, the peak systolic velocity will be around 40, and at 18 weeks gestation, the peak systolic velocity will be around 23. So cutoff you take like 60. If it is more than 60, it is abnormal. So normally we calculate in the form of multiples of median. There are so many sites where we can just enter the number and it calculates the multiples of median. If the MCA peak systolic velocity is less than 1.5 multiples of median, then you can ask the patient to come and sequentially we can measure the MCA peak systolic velocity studies will be done. So if it is more than 1.5, it's abnormal. Then look for the gestational age. If it's less than that 5 weeks, go for cardiosensitive. If more than that 5 weeks, then see the PSV. If it is normal, induction at 38-39 weeks. If it is abnormal, that is increasing, then go for lung maturity studies and give steroids and then go for induction. So what are conditions this peak systolic velocity is used is to evaluate anemia in fetuses with RBC hollow immunization, twin transfusion syndrome, twin anemia polycythemia sequence, G6PD deficiency, parvovirus infection, alpha thalassemia, feto-maternal hemorrhage and placental chorioangioma. And one more is a fetal systolic by diastolic ratio. Normally systole will be more, diastole will be less. S/T ratio, this ratio should always be higher than that of umbilical. So S/T ratio is important in fetal distress and IUGR. Thank you.